Hello YouTube. This is going to be the first part of my Building a Bug Out video series, and this is going to be the research and development video. So it's not the finalized product, it's just my process of determining what I'm going to have in this particular compartment. And so the video series, I'm going to be going compartment through compartment and kind of building that up on YouTube and doing some R&D on it, and then coming up with a finalized version that I could then show the YouTube audience. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is the SAS Survival Pouch. If you read the SAS Survival Handbook, they describe, there's a section here that describes building a pouch that has some certain survival items in there. And the pouch they have listed is this kind of rectangular thing. I don't have something like that, or I don't even know if I want that. So I decided to kind of go with a Mountain Smith fanny pack. Nothing fancy recommended. This is the Mountain Smith Vibe 2. I would never wear a fanny pack during normal everyday living, but in a bug out situation I'd be willing to. So this is kind of what I was thinking of having everything stored into. So in this fanny pack, I would like to kind of have a little bit of each of these items in there, just miniature versions of it, and then this would then be sitting. This would be the very first compartment in my bug out bag that I would grab, put on my waist, and then put the bug out backpack on. So even if I didn't have that backpack on me, I would still have some key items in there. The SAS Survival Pouch describes the following items to have in there: a mess tin, some fuel for cooking, torch, flares, marker panel, matches, brew kit, food, survival bag, survival log. I'm going to try to have some of these items in there, but for example, the mess tin, something like this, I'm not able to fit inside of a Mountain Smith fanny pack, so that's going to be kind of out. Instead of having that mess tin in there, I was kind of debating with the idea of having a lightweight, either titanium or stainless steel coffee mug. Not this. This is just, I'm going to use this as an example, because I thought it'd be a good way of storing some of the other items in there. For example, the survival bag, it'd be kind of tight fit in this Mountain Smith. So I was kind of debating on having a coffee mug, a lightweight version, not this one, on this connected to the strap on this fanny pack, and that would be a good way of me storing the survival bag. So something similar to this Adventure Medical bivvy. I'd be able to store it in there if it had a lid. I think it'd be safe in there, and then I could just be riding on that strap. So I'm kind of toying with that idea. I'm going to test it out. Maybe go to REI or something and see if that actually works. So some of the other items that are listed in here, they say having matches. I'm going to kind of go a little bit overboard and have matches and a big lighter and a flint and steel. I figure fire is an important thing to have, even though I'm in an urban situation. Having fire is good to have. So for food, he mentions having blocks of meat and butter and things like that. I'm probably going to go in a different route again and kind of weigh out all my different food options. I'm going to go for the calorie content and taste and the size of it. So I know these Cliff Bars I know have a lot of calories. They definitely weigh the most out of the other items. The other, I think it's over 2 ounces, 2.5 ounces, something. One of these ones is a little lighter. So if you have any recommendations on which ones you think I should have, I'd like to hear any comments on it. Again, I know this one has more calories than the other ones. I kind of weighed out having a Snickers bar or something like that just because of it melting, even though it's cheaper. So those are going to be things I'm going to be kind of looking at. I've kind of gone through all the different the nutrition facts in the back and kind of weighing the calories versus weight versus cost versus melt factor. Let's see, what other items in here. So I'm definitely going to be keeping all of these items in mind. Sorry for the pause. I have all these things on my desk that I'm trying to have in the video. For the survival log, I have a Write in Rain all-weather memo book, so you could write on this even if it's wet. I'll probably include some kind of a pencil in there, as well as a pen as well. That's kind of what I was thinking of going with. And it's fairly lightweight too. Here's some of the items that I'm going to be adding that's not really specifically listed in the survival pouch, but things that I thought would be good to have. Number one is their Leatherman Charge. I already have it kind of strapped onto this. I don't carry this on the EDC because it's way too heavy. On my EDC I carry, you know, a Leatherman Juice S2. This is the Leatherman Charge, but it has a lot more capabilities than this guy does. Although it's way too heavy, but in a bug out situation I'd want to have all those capabilities on it. So I have it riding in this right now. If you think that I should, you know, not have that one and have this instead or something else, let me know what your reasons are. I'd be curious to hear them. So I also have a folding knife that I wanted to have in it. Currently I'm storing it in this bag. This is just a Kershaw Blackout. I got it as a gift. It's free, so I don't have to buy a new knife. And so that's the only reason I have it in here currently. I know there's a lot better knives out there. Even though I'm in an urban situation, I figure I'm going to have to make fire and might have to cut some wood. So I have a flexible saw in there. The one I've been eyeballing is the Ultimate Survival Technologies Saber cut saw. I think it'd be small enough to fit in this fanny pack. Although I'm debating whether I actually need it or not. There's some other cheaper versions out there, but I know they're kind of flimsy too and might break down on me. I don't even know if I actually need it, so I'm going to be weighing in those options. Again, give me your input on that. For the small medical kit, I'm going to just be making something similar to what I have in my EDC. Just basic bandages and alcohol wipes and things. So again, it's going to be I'm going to try to make it as slim and lightweight as possible. For flashlight, I'm leaning towards going with something similar to the Streamlight Stylus Pro. I've been really happy with this. It's in my EDC as well as my EDC backpack, and it's a really good light. If I have this kind of light, I'm going to want to have some backup batteries in it, and definitely have some lithium. These are double A, even though this takes AAA. I have a flint listed in there. I already showed that earlier in the video. Trying to decide if there's something smaller than this. It's about $10 over at REI, and it's fairly good. For compass, I'd like to have something really small, similar to this kind of compass. Although these ones are so cheap, and every time I bought one, they always break on me. This one doesn't really work that well either. So this is what I have in my EDC backpack, and I know this is more reliable. Although it's a lot bigger and thicker, it'll be a little harder to store into the fanny pack. So if anyone has a good recommendation on an ultra small compass, I'll also have more of a full-size one in the actual bug-out bag. I'd like to hear any comments on that. Let's see, I have a whistle listed in there. Right now I have this little slim Adventure Medical Kits whistle. On my keychain I carry a Fox 40, a mini Fox 40 whistle, which is I think a little better than this one, but this is what I have in it right now. I'm going to try to keep my budget on this compartment to around $100. So we'll see if I can keep it in that way. A lot of the items I already own, so I don't think I'll have to buy them. I have Gorilla Tape listed. Currently I have a little mini version of it with a cut-up credit card. And it's only about 3 feet or so. But it's something, and it doesn't weigh that much. I have water purification tablets added, even though I'd like to have some way of boiling water, but I figure with having different ways of getting water is good for me to have. So I have some water purification tablets. There's 20 in there, and to when I want to purify the water, I have a little survival. It's a bag. It's 1 quart worth, and so one of these pills would fill up that bag. And I picked this one for right now just because it's so thin. I need to test it out to make sure it's going to work that well. I'll put up where I actually bought it from, but it was so cheap and it's so thin that I have it incorporated now. I might go with a different option for like some kind of platypus or Katedin collapsible bag. Would probably be better quality. Although the nozzle or the head on it I figured would add some thickness to the bag and might be a little harder to store. So those are things I'm weighing on. I have listed tin foil. I have some heavy-duty tin foil. Also another way of, if I lost my coffee cup and I lost my water purification tablets, I'd still have another way of making boiling water. So on the shelter part of it, like again, I was going to try to have a lot of these different items in here, mini versions of it. For shelter, if I could squeeze in some kind of space blanket to make a shelter in the kind of ground, this kind of just kind of get to block out the rain a little bit, I'd like to be able to fit that in there. We'll see. I'm going to weigh out some other options as well. Any input from the YouTube community would be appreciated. Also, hopefully I'll have something like this if I could fit it in there. And let's see, I already have the coffee cup listed. So those are all the items that I'm currently looking at. Some other options that I've been weighing in on are having a secondary knife. I have this Victorinox Cadet, nothing fancy, recommended. I carry this on my EDC, although I also carry the Leatherman juice on the EDC, and I figure I don't need both of them, so I'm kind of debating which one to actually use on my EDC and which one to have in my bug out bag SAS Survival Pouch compartment. Another item is for the personal items. I'm thinking of going with a USB flash disk that I could have some personal information on, things that for example, if we had a tsunami here where I live in Seattle, and I want to have some certain data that's on my computer backed up, and so this would be what I would go with it, and also have this a little more waterproof, so either in some kind of bag or something that's more waterproof friendly. So those are some of the items that I'm currently thinking about. Also a bandana, I think I'll be able to fit it in there fairly easily. It's something good to have. I wasn't going to go with a fixed blade just because I'm going to have that in my actual bug out bag. So that's why I chose a folding knife for this pouch. So let me know what you think regarding this kind of method. Again, this is the R&D version of a video for this compartment. And so this is where I'm going to actually be, weighing in all the options, figuring out what's going to work best, and get a lot of input from YouTube viewers. And then whatever I come up with, I'll create a finalized video and say this is my survival pouch. This is what I went with. And hopefully during this R&D process, you guys could help me finalize and pick out, what I'm going to have in this pouch. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And after, I'll leave it up for a couple weeks, and I'll be making some more purchases if need be. And hopefully in a few weeks I'll show you what I came up with for the survival pouch. Oh, before I go, there's some items that I had in my old Altoids survival tin, some fishing items and things. Again, since I live in the city, I'm debating whether I need it or not, whether I need a fishing kit. But they're so small, I might just throw them in there. So those are things I'm also weighing in on. So again, hope you enjoyed the video. This is R&D for the SAS Survival Pouch for my Building a Bug Out video series. Have a good day.